going on, y'all? Patrick from B Squared. Today we're going to be installing the R3 Motorsports Delrin door bushings. These are made to add a little bit more chassis stiffness using the bushing as a more solidified member to connect the door to the chassis. So what that means is the chassis should flex less under bumps, and this is going to help a lot for the track, for just making sure that the suspension isn't pushing on a wet noodle. It's pushing on something that's a little bit more stiff. Of course, this is an old car. It's probably got some rust under it, so any bit of stiffness that we can add to the car is hugely helpful. Will we see a huge difference? Time will tell when we go to the track, but today we're going to film an install video. I have a microphone set up with my computer, and I want to see if the sound waves are visibly different and if we could hear something that's clearly different between the stock bushing and the R3 Motorsports Delrin bushing. So let's have a fun quick experiment today. All right, everybody, I've got the microphone set up here. Let's have a listen at how the stock door bushings sound on the Miata. I'm going to try to keep my hand motion as consistent as possible when doing the sound test between the new bushings and the old ones. So let's see if we can add a little bit of consistency here. Maybe I'll use this mark on the table to, make sure the test is the same every time. Okay, get a couple of sound clips here. Okay, so that's the stock door bushing. We're going to remove the stock bushing using the two 10mm bolts. Let's give the area a quick clean. To install the new R3 door bushings, we're just going to use the provided hex head and washer combo. So these are just going to go in here, and then we will bolt these into the car. When these are installed in the car, there is a receiving end on the door itself that should mate to this when the door is closed. Here is that receiving part. Let's get it to a point where it's difficult to move around. The idea is to close the door on this while it's semi-loose, just so it can fall into its position, and then we will fully tighten those once the door decides where these bushings should rest. Okay. Open it slowly, and now we're going to tighten it in place now that the door has decided where this bushing needs to rest. Alright, so now that we've installed one of the door bushings, let's start up a new sound file and see how it sounds with the new one. Even opening it sounds different. Oh, that was too weak. After installing the bushing, it seems like the door doesn't want to close with the same amount of force as before. Like a couple of times, it only partially closed. So maybe that means the bushing is doing a little bit more work than it appears to be, which is kind of cool. Very cool though. Let's see our sound bites here. Okay, and that's the install for the R3 door bushings. Only track time will tell if they're actually doing a service to the car in terms of chassis stiffness. But in terms of sound and feel of closing the door and opening it, it's pretty nice. So this is probably the easiest mod you can do for your Miata. That's what I love about hot rod culture. People just change whatever they can and find every little bit to make the car better. I think it's worth it. So yeah, shout out R3, thank you for the door bushings, and we will see you on the track.